Welcome to Localite, everybody. It's good to have you with us. You know, today in studio with me is a really cool guy. This guy does some pretty amazing stuff on motorcycles and ATVs, and his name's Seth Fargher. He's a professional freestyle motocross rider, and so he's now living in Southern California, but originally from Dufur. So, Seth, thanks for coming up.
Thanks for having me. Stoked to be here.
Yeah. Well, I guess you actually had to take a train, because we'll get into why, but you had to take a train. You couldn't fly. Your neurosurgeon wouldn't let you.
Yeah, I almost missed the boat to get here. I was recently in an accident about a month ago, just over a month ago. I was in Texas training. The sport I am in is all about progression, and so you have to be taking your game to the next level and practicing your tricks and improving. And the next step for me was to learn how to backflip. So I went to our guys' facility in Texas. They're two of the best freestyle motocross riders in the world. And I was going to go spend 2 weeks at their house doing freestyle motocross in the foam pit and hopefully learn how to backflip. And it didn't quite work out that way. I was practicing. It had a lot of rain, so we didn't get to quite make it to the foam pit. One day I was just out practicing, and I did a few warm-up jumps, and on my fourth jump, something happened. The quad dove, and I landed on the front bumper, went over the bars, drove my head into the ground, and the quad flipped and actually landed on my head and fractured my skull. And
oh, man.
I ended up spending 10 days in ICU, and it's traumatic for my family. I was in a pretty good mood because I wasn't injured. I could feel my toes. I wasn't in a bunch of pain. I had some cute nurses, and I spent 10 days in ICU. My family was freaked out. I had a lot of prayers coming my way, support like I've never experienced before, and 10 days later I walked out of ICU and haven't so much as had a headache since. So I'm very thankful and grateful to be alive.
Sounds like a miracle.
Yes, very much
because
so.
you should have been at least paralyzed, but probably killed.
Probably. It's been kind of emotional as I got out of the hospital and started piecing things back together. Nobody saw how I landed, but from the damage to my ATV, what's left of my helmet, and my sustained injuries, I shouldn't be alive. I landed on my head and my face from about 30 feet up. My helmet folded in on my face. The 450-pound quad bounced, flipped 180 degrees, and landed on my head. And my neurosurgeon, when I saw him the day I was supposed to fly up here, he goes, "You're not flying anywhere." And he folded up my notes, and he goes, they were trying to decide if they needed to operate on you. And so as things have come together, and I saw my helmet and I've seen what's left of my quad, it's just like I'm lucky to be alive. So
yeah. And you said your family was was very concerned, rather freaked out, and you were kind of like, "Well, man, I can feel my toes and everything. I'm doing good." But it must have been a complete wake-up call for them about the severity and danger of what it is that you do.
It is, yeah. And I've gotten lots of questions about that. Like, my parents have been begging me to find another course of fun since I started this. But I had another friend that called. I was watching the X Games shortly after the injury, and a guy went down in the best trick contest. She immediately texted me and said, "Is that tough for you to watch?" And I said, not at all, because that's just what we do. It's part of the sport, is risk and getting hurt. And maybe we're wired differently, but
yeah.
It's what we do, and that those things come with the territory.
Yeah, yeah. And we should just point out, you were trying to flip quads, so like four-wheelers, not just not a dirt bike like we see on TV a lot. So there's really a uniqueness to being able. There's only a few people in the world that actually can accomplish that.
Exactly, yeah. The difference between ATVs and dirt bikes is there's about 5 guys in the world that can consistently flip an ATV, and I wasn't even flipping. I never got to even try it. 2 of the guys that ride for us, their names Caleb and Colton Moore. They're brothers from Texas. Awesome guys, and they are without a doubt the 2 best freestyle motocross riders in the world for what they can do on an ATV. And there are probably 5 guys in the world that can actually backflip an ATV and do it consistently, and they are 2 of them. And they're in France right now riding some shows for us. So it's an awesome deal to be a part of their team, because the Bomb Squad is a team that I ride for, and they are without a doubt the biggest team of ATV freestyle professionals in the world. Kids all over the world, like me 9 months ago. The Bomb Squad is as big as it gets, and that's where your goal is if you want to do freestyle motocross.
Jeez. So that's had to have an impact on where you see your future in this industry going.
Yeah, there's the industry is interesting, and it's kind of fickle at times. A select few can make a living out of it, so I'm kind of rechanneling and restructuring and look at myself. I went to college and got a business degree, and so I'm fascinated by business, and I write with the media and do a lot of different stuff, and so I want to pursue that more And you know, I want to be the dude in the spotlight too, but that only lasts for so long if you can stay healthy and everything else. And then what? So I kind of looking at maybe structuring my future, taking that approach. I keep joking with Caleb and Colton as they reach superstardom that I'm going to be your publicist. In fact, when I was in the hospital, when I finally remember coming to, I go, guys, I'm just going to stick to being your publicist from now on. They busted up laughing. I was like, what's the deal? They said, you've said that about 40 times.
Really?
So I'm just trying to drive it home.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so for like the guys that you just mentioned, and like for yourself, I mean, being in an industry where catastrophe is part of the everyday sort of at the office, how do you guys deal with that?
You have to just block it out. You'll watch
How do you
guys.
do that?
You just do it, and maybe that's why there's a screw loose. Our manager told me when I started doing this, he's like, you've got the skill, you've got talent, but I don't know that you have the screw loose to do this, because to huck yourself 30 feet off the ground, 70 feet through the air, and let go of the bike that got you there, there's something not right about that. Mm-hmm. And you'll see guys that just won't commit, and you have to commit 100%. You can't hit that ramp and go, oh, I didn't want to do this. And you'll see guys go out and just stare at the ramp for a while, or they'll just do run-bys one after the other to check their speed. And those are usually the guys that crash. You need to be comfortable enough to just go out and hit the ramp and bam, start doing tricks after. Do 1 or 2 practice runs, excuse me, but just get out and hit the ramp and start doing tricks, because you just can't you have to commit. You can't have that thought of hesitancy, or else you're going to crash.
Yeah. So hey, we're going to take a quick break. You guys, when we come back, I want to talk to Seth about, as we started to a little bit, you know, kind of where he's going in this industry and sort of the other side of his involvement with writing versus riding, and also videography and the media side of things. So stick with us. We'll be right back.